Okay, so my name is, well, okay, so I go by two different names. So some people call me Brian, and then some people call me Brianna, which is my birth name.
My name's Eric Smith.
Name is Lee.
I'm Nyasa.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Sylvie.
I'm Tim Andrew Caden.
I identify as bisexual, non-binary.
I identify as gay.
I'm a trans guy and I'm pansexual.
I'm a trans woman.
So I identify as just a gay cis man.
I'm a lesbian.
I identify as a gay, asexual, transgender man.
As far as my sexuality, I didn't figure it out until about like freshman, sophomore year of high school. Um, and that kind of happened because I surrounded myself with like people who were very like accepting, and they kind of helped me understand who I was, and that like it was safe to just be myself, even if I was really confused about what was going on.
And I tried to kind of really fully understand myself and how I could come to the point where I could be comfortable in who I was and realize that that I don't have to prove anything to them because I'm gay, but that I can just be myself and I can be gay, but I also can be I can be seen as another human and not have to do anything for them to accept me.
Now, of course, they do have trouble because they've been living with me for 16 years, kind of adjusting to the new name and new pronouns, but they've really caught on relatively fast, which is something that really not a lot of people have. I know when I first came out as bisexual to my parents, they were very understanding.
When I came out, I don't know how to describe it. Basically, when they were informed of all this, they were concerned more than anything else, which is not what you want to be. You know, if you guys ever have kids and they turn out to be trans, don't be concerned when they come out. Please, for the love of God, don't do that.
My mom would always tell me, like, we'd have these conversations about my sexual orientation, and she'd always tell me to, like, keep my options open. And, like, that sounds like it could be good, but it really felt like a way of telling me, like, to deny who I was. So, it wasn't great, but now she's accepting, so it's better.
Confession was probably where I felt like the most homophobic tendencies, because they'd give you this little pamphlet and it'd be like, here are a list of possible sins you've done. And it's like, if you're getting confusing ideas of homosexuality or whatever, or like if you have a friend who is confused about their sexuality and have been rude to them, and I don't know, they just was very... It was very hard for me to read this pamphlet and be like, wait, confusing? There's one thing I'm not, and is not confused.
They would call me a faggot. They would call me gay. They would say things that had to do with, I guess, certain gay behaviors. They would also call me very feminine. They sometimes would refer to me as a princess, a fairy.
There was a bunch of people in my dorm, and I had some snacks. And I was like, oh, do you guys want any snacks? And this guy turned to me, he's like, oh, I'm okay, I'm straight. And I was like, okay, do you want any snacks? I don't know, just if you feel for whatever reason uncomfortable around someone in the queer community, try just be respectful.
I think for people who are straight or cis, just recognize us as we are just other people in your life. You don't let your straightness or you being cis define who you are, or you don't let other people define that as who you are. So I feel like we're just other people.
Listen to them. That's kind of what you have to do, really, to anybody, is just listen to who they are, and if they decide to open up to you about who they are, then that's great, and respect that. Just be chill about it. It's nothing you can change. It's really who they are, and that's what makes them who they are. So just listen and be accepting.